Hi guys, Doger here with a new video, and this video will be a casual video. It is super warm, at least in Belgium. It is really, anyways. I like sun, but whenever you're inside, it is really cooking. But overall, we're going to talk about GDKP as you have seen on the video title. Um, there's a lot of people that are looking at anniversary servers and they're saying like GDKP is missing SOD, they had no GDKPs. You have now Cataclysm, soon to be Miss Pandaria, that has GDKPs, and everyone is looking at it with like big eyes, like, damn, that would be good in anniversary servers. Or why ban GDKPs? It didn't help for RMT, it didn't help about the bots. You still have the same amount of bots. So I'm going to play devil's advocate about that because I have my own opinion. You will hear it in the second half of the video. It's not going to be a gigantic video either. I think GDKP is a topic that could be discussed in a few minutes. Doesn't need like hours to it. But I'm going to talk about the positives about GDKP, especially on anniversary servers. I'm going to be doing devil's advocate and just in general talking positively about GDKP, and then I'm going to talk about my own perspective to it, which is a bit negative. So that's a big disclaimer. I think it's no secret that I am like against GDKP, but I will sum up the positives. So I'm going to play both sides. GDKP improves the replayability. So what do I mean with that? It means that if you have and you need no gear, you can organize GDKPs and it will make you gold. So it means that you are performing as well. It's a performance rate. So if you're not performing, you need to be either a very big buyer or you have to be a carry. It's one or the other. So you're either a carry that doesn't buy anything and you get gold for the carries that you're doing, and you either a buyer that can carry, so that's perfect, or you are a buyer that is literally in greens and you can come out literally in purple once you have done the raid if you're very lucky with the drops and you have a lot of gold. That's one thing. Also, if you have AV weekends, which most likely you're going to wait for it, if you're going for rank 14 these days, it's going to around take 20 minutes. So is it good or is it bad? Well, it's still there, so it will also stay for now. It means that you can get rank 14 gear, which kind of trivialize a lot of the gear from BWL and MC, which for me, I don't mind too much. I just don't like the system about rank 14. I think getting gear for being AFK really sucks and just breaks the world. If you could actually work PvP and be very efficient with it and get rank 14, I think that would be a win-win for everyone. Or doing BGs like Warzone Gulch and AB. But anyways, that's another topic. Since you have all of those gear already acquired, you don't need a lot of gear from BWIMC, so you could organize or join those GDKPs. Now, that's one thing, right? That's a positive. You can make gold, you have something to spend, you can literally play multiple alts to make gold again, or like spend that gold into other alts. So it's like a cycle of you are participating to get gold, and that gold you can spend it on gear, or you can spend it on an alt that will then be a buyer, which is going to buy a carry pretty much. So that's a positive for GDKP. The community is GDKP driven. You can see just on Cataclysm how many runs you have per week about GDKPs. It's literally a 50-50. You will find raids that are just purely GDKP raids, and you have guilds that are running the normal raids. The puck scene is pretty much about GDKP. That's how I see right now in Cataclysm. I could be wrong, but I am vastly positive that out of all the pucks that you can see, there's like a 20% of that is like purely about like the raid aspect, and the 80% is like once it's on farm about GDKPs and getting gold from players. So that's a positive again for them. It's also pretty established, and that's like a take that I have as well. GDKP combats RMT. So no, I mean, if you ban GDKP, it combats RMT, but the main offender of RMT is mage boosting. That's the biggest take, and I think I am really agreeing with that. So why ban GDKP but not ban mage boosting? At that point, allow both or deny both. That's how I also see. I would deny both, for example. But the main offender is that. The second thing is that it is a reliable gold farm, and you kind of profit from the people that do buy gold on the websites. So that's a bad thing as well. It's a good thing as well for the people that do profit, but it's a bad thing because it promotes that. So that's like the positives about GTKP. Also, performance rates. Generally speaking, those rates are very smooth and very fast. Like you don't join a GTKP to wipe on Vol, on like just Razor Gore or whatever boss that there is in BWL. So that's one thing. Obviously, there are good grades and it's pretty smooth in general because they are organized by people that do care about the gold aspect and the smoothness of those raids. Now, my take is GDKP should not exist in MMO game. I think back in the day, I don't remember having GDKPs. That's like something that I am very, very aware that it is a now thing. It's a thing that came with 2019 pretty much, but also before maybe a bit of a private server. But what I remember from Lights Hope, they did ban those things. But anyways, um, the DKP just came because it was available and possible on the Blizzard servers. It was for a service. You buy a service and you get an item, for example. It's kind of the same as if you are buying a tank to run Stratholme for orbs or whatever you're going to do in Stratholme. Um, so my thing is, I just want to ban everything that is related to RMT. I want to ban mage boosting. I want to ban the summoners network where you can like jump from zone to zone at any point. So obviously, I think the main issue is that they just half-arsed it. So in my opinion, they just half-arsed it by just banning GDKPs and leaving the other things behind. I think GDKP is a bad system. It should not exist. I think I already said that multiple times. People now calculate their time with gold as if it's like the real society. Yes, obviously, in real world, you're not doing anything for free, or most of the things are not done for free. They're done for benefits or pleasure or for money. So obviously, having it translated in MMORPG is not like crazy because it is literally replicating social things. But I'm tired of seeing it in retail. I'm tired to see it like even in classic era. It is like prevalent where an item can be bought for 200k. For example, the tiger from Silk Robe. Um, I think it's really crazy how people can defend GDKP and they think that the gold comes from anywhere. Like I think you do realize where the gold comes from, but you're like doing this. I don't see, but you clearly know where it comes from. It comes from websites. How can someone have 10,000 gold on Classic without ever touching any professions, doing any farms, doing nothing on the auction house? Like playing the auction house, you can do that maybe, for example. But like, it's crazy how it's normalized and how people like are, he bought gold. I didn't, so it's nothing wrong. I'm just here doing the GDKP and yeah, I get that gold. That's fine. I don't care from where it comes from. And that's the main issue because people are complaining about bots, but those bots are there because there is a demand. It's always going to be like this. And because of the amount of gold actively in circulation, because of bots, because of those mage boosters, because of the GDKPs, which it's not a thing in anniversary, but whatever, because of the summers network, you have a lot of like gold that circulates and stays in the system. There is pretty much no deflationary aspect towards classic. Like there is nothing you can buy from the vendors that makes it that you're going to spend a lot of gold, which are is going to be lost forever, except for the mount. For example, mount repairs, I don't know, food. But even then, you have mages. There is not a lot of things that you can buy from the vendors that makes it that you are going to lose a bit of gold and it will be lost forever. There are a few solutions, for example, buying wall buffs from the vendors or having to use materials like in SOD, in SOD, that you are going to spend to get the buff so you can like share the buffs with your party, for example. You don't have that in a classic, in anniversary. So I think people are like turning a blind eye on specific GDKP problems. Um, and they're saying like, mage boosting is worse, but it's the same thing because most of the carries are like always the same people that do also sell online as well. The mage boosters, most of them cannot even speak English correctly, and they do speak other foreign languages, and that's fine. They can play the game, they can play the server, and I guess if you are like looking at a humanitarian level, you are helping them to feed their families, but it is as if you helping someone selling drugs pretty much, and they sell drugs, you buy it and you say, I help him feed his family. That's okay, but the way how he feeds his family is the problem. The same for how someone that is farming gold in the mafia, like in the Chinese mafia or in like an Indian mafia or in a Iranian mafia, whatever mafia there is, or even like someone that is like also from Belgium that is farming gold and selling it online. I don't know why he would do that because I think it's way better spent on an actual job here in Belgium, for example. But it is like it doesn't justify the means. And however you are going to say that you're empathy and you're trying to help someone and you're thinking the bigger picture is you're doing something illegal. Normally in a game it's illegal. In the grand scheme of things, who cares? But in the game it is not permitted to buy and sell gold. So you are helping people with the wrong intention to be able to profit from them as well, because again, you are doing GDKPs to get gold yourself, and you don't really care about that gold and where it comes from. At one point it is ridiculous that an item costs 20k, 5k, 6k, 8k, even like the tiger or the raptor from ZG. Like it's really crazy how people justify a few things. And for me, GDKP should not exist in Classic, in Anniversary, or in any capacity, on every expansion or like server. For example, Retail has the same issue. They sell the achievements, they sell the Mythic Plus keystones, they sell loads of things for gold, which essentially is just a token, which essentially they just use it to be able to sell it to other people to get money. So I am not agreeing with that. I think it is not made for that. World of Warcraft is also not made to get boosted by a mage from level 1 to 60. I have done it as well. It's not me being hypocritical, it is me finding like in anything in life, if you have a hack and you can do it pretty much for free or without an issue, and you find it that it is rewarding your time spent, you're going to do that regardless. Of course, if mage boosting is allowed, I'm going to utilize it, even if I don't like it, even if I want to level in open world. If everyone is doing that and it is okay to do that in Blizzard standards, why would you shoot in your own foot? Why would you spend that much time in open world while you could just AFK and do other stuff, like for example work at the same time? So that's my issue with mage boosting. And GDKP is kind of the same. Why would you raid with a normal guild if you could actually just spend your time in a GDKP where you would get the gold, where you would buy the items with your gold, and you have like a predictable system where you can actually get the items with the gold that you have managed to farm or buy from a website. So I am not agreeing with it. And how you can turn it or however you want to do it, yes, it makes raiding very alive. That's true. That's not a deny. Like everyone wants to participate in GDKPs, will participate on multiple characters, so they are able to get the gold, able to buy gear, and you are like doing like it's a farming system, and that's okay. But the issue is it comes not from people that are farming in open world. If you would implement GDKP but bots didn't exist, then I would be fine. I don't care. Like it is like annoying because it's not really meant to be like that, but at least the gold is not inflationary that much to the point where like a mongoose costs 25 gold. And that has nothing to do with GDKP on anniversary, but it has to do with mage boosting, has to do with how the bots are farming those herbs, has to do with obviously summoning network where you have someone with 30 characters literally in 3 accounts just summoning you like somewhere for 8 gold, 10 gold, 12 gold, depending on like the time. I feel like it's really annoying. So I understand like some people do like those services, but it makes the world very small. For example, I don't think it is meant to be that you can come to from Stormwind to Winterspring without a Hearthstone in just 1 minute. It is making the world very, very small, a very lobby driven world where you just stand in Stormwind and Orgrimmar and just hit up a summoner to get a summoning network to be getting at the place that you want, and then go hard back to wait for a world buff. It really sucks. You have no one in open world. The people that are in open world are just bots, and it just promotes bad gameplay. So that was my opinion about GDKP. I think I cannot be clear enough the fact that I really love Classic. Like I really love the game. I just wish Blizzard didn't half-arsed their decisions. I think if you ban GDKP, of course it is not is dumb. It is dumb to not ban or not like you could disable mage boosting. Like I'm not saying you need to ban people that are doing solo dungeons because it's very hard. You're going to police all day about that, but make it very difficult. For example, Slows has a GCD, a CD, so it means that like at one point they are not slowed anymore. You cannot abuse like the uh, the pathing of the mobs, for example. So they just beeline onto you. Makes it very hard for the mage to actually like clear those Maraudons. It will be able to still do Scarlet Mastery because there is a way to do so. But Maraudon, for example, it's like just pathing abuse. So you should be able to stop it as Blizzard, and you don't need to ban the players. You just need to make it irrelevant or not possible. Like the same for Dharma, the same for like ZG boost. I think yes, it is comfortable to be getting boosted. You're paying to someone that most likely will use that gold onto the websites to sell it and just keep it in the economy. It's not going to keep it for themselves. They're going to keep it for the economy. So obviously you have legit boosters that are like farming gold for themselves, but they are accepting gold from people that are buying gold from websites. Where does the 1k or 2k or 3k gold come from a level 20? Is it because of their main? But the main, did he farm anything to get that 3k gold? That's all those things that you have to think about. And if you're receiving the gold, you're not really thinking about like, where does the gold come from? Is it ethical or not ethical? The issue is Blizzard are like enabling it. But that's again an opinion probably that is not going to be shared by everyone. I think GDKPs should not go in anniversary. I think they should go even further and make mage boosting non-viable. So it means that if it's a level 60, you get little to no XP. CG is another issue because, like, again, they're level 60 with like 55. So why would not they not get any XP? So that should be tuned accordingly with maybe pathing to be an issue. They have ways to deal with mage boosting, but they just need to do it and pull the trigger. But so that was my video. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye.